Good morning. Okay, I know it's been a while since I've done this because I've been sick. See, I sound like myself again. All right. Today, I'm doing step 1. Well, I'm going to skip to step 2 because I like to make my sashing rows before I put my blocks together. So I'm going to make 4 sashing squares and 3 sashing strips, and I'm going to make 4 sashing rows. I know that all gets confusing. All right, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I've cut enough. And I have cut enough. Okay, 4 sashing squares and 3. So there's 1 row. That'll be 2 rows. 3 rows. Put these on each other. Make sure I've got thread, I've got bobbin. I'm just using my regular straight stitch. No, you know what? I need to change feet. This is great for applique. It really sucks if I'm trying to get a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I need to change to one of my more traditional feet. And this will also help me keep the fabric moving smoothly through my feed dogs. All right. So this one, and I don't know if this is the proper foot that most people use. This is the one that I want to use. It's got a 1/4 inch mark right there. My needle will go down the center. And I know that if I line my fabric up along the edge of the middle spot right there, I'm going to get a 1/4 inch seam. No, that's not the right foot. I can't get my... This is the one that I want. Okay, so this one on my machine, if it's flat like that, then my additional feed dog won't pull through there. This one, same thing, narrower foot, but this allows my automatic feed to pull through from the back. And I'll get that hooked on there. Okay. Yep, I still have a little bit of a cough going on. I guess that's going to be with me for a couple of weeks, the way COVID works. Alright, I'm going to finger press these to the darker fabric. Some people like to iron these, each of these steps, or use the little wooden tool to make the seam flat, I use my fingers. Alright, so I know that I'm going to want a dark on both ends. Put these together. As I said, we're just making a simple sashing row. This is going to go in between your blocks to kind of space them out on your quilt top. And I got my spider fabric too wide. Why do I call it a spider fabric? Because this, by the time I'm through with it, will look like a spider's nest. It just helps my machine keep stitching and not get angry at me and make a rat's nest in my bobbin case when I switch to a new thread, because I don't like doing the cut your thread every single time with the machine. One thing that I've learned is every machine sews different. Every machine has a different 1/4 inch setting. No matter what you're doing, start your quilt and finish your quilt all on the same machine. That way, it's just gonna be easier for you. If I'd tried to switch from this to the Singer, I'd be just scant off. It would be hard. Okay, so this is what your sashing rows look like. You see that? Got dark on both ends. I need to make 4 of these, so I'll come back after that's done. And I'm back again. Now we're going to go back to doing the first assembly step. Remember, I skipped ahead. We're going to use 4 sashing strips and 3 pig blocks to make the rows. Now, with this particular pattern, we have pig blocks that face different directions, so make sure doing this first row here that you're getting your pigs going in the right directions. I know that I'm going to want, I've got left pig, center pig, right pig. I know that I'm going to need a sashing strip on the right hand side of each of these blocks. So I'm going to do that first. Line it up with the edge of your block. Make sure you're covering your edges, that your fabric's not too short on one side or the other. And then try to keep your 1/4 inch. I am not the best seamstress. I am by no means the best quilter. My hands shake, my arms wobble, but I promise you, nobody is going to look at your finished product and critique it the way you do. Your seams don't have to be state fair perfect on everything. You're making something that your loved one will treasure. They're going to love the fact that it is made by you and that you took the time to create something especially for them. And the longer that you quilt and sew, the better you'll get. at least at least until age catches up with you, and then you kind of slide downhill some more, because I used to be able to do everything and not worry about, you know, am I going to be shaky all the way down? Is my fabric going to shift on me? You know? Then again, I'm kind of slack in what I do when it comes to sewing, because at this point I realize I'm doing this for my happiness and my relaxation, and it doesn't have to be perfect every single time. Close enough is good enough for me. Fold it to the dark, finger press it. Keep your blocks in order. I'm going to put that pig over there. Now we're going to take this pig, which is the middle one, flip him over like this, and sew the sashing to this pig. Again, fold that over. This just makes it easier when I go back and iron everything. And then we'll bring this pig over here. And you'll be very proud of me. I did manage to stitch the faces down on all of my piggies. As I've said before, I hate doing faces. And Robin knows. I've sent her quilt tops to play with and practice on, and lo and behold, they didn't have their eyeballs stitched down. So if I don't have to switch colors and threads, I do much better at getting something finished. Okay, now we have to go back, get that last sashing strip on the open end. And this is a completed row. This is the top row of our quilt. And there it is with the sashing strips sewn into it. Next time when I come back, we'll be putting pig rows together with the sashing rows that we've already made. I'm back again, and now I am pinning the sashing rows to my blocks. I'm matching up my seams and using awful pins, which I guarantee you I'm going to poke myself with. And I will go through and do this for all the rows. But I want to do this one, just this one first, so I can show you. It's very hard for me to line up my seams like this because of the shakes. Once you got it pinned, oh, I just dropped that pin right on my toe because yes, I sew barefoot. Carefully hold my finger on that to hold my seam where I want it. I really hate pins. I know some people use clips for this. I haven't tried that yet. And sometimes I don't pin it at all. I just use my fingers as I get there. But since I'm trying to show Robin how to do things the right way, I pinned it. Make sure my seam allowance gets flipped in there. And then I open it up, finger press it, and I'm off a little bit there. Oh, I'm off a lot there. But I matched up good there. Okay. Now you're going to connect the rest of your sashing strips to your rows and just keep going as you go along. I'm not going to worry about this little bit of being off here because this is for me. If I was doing this for someone else, and this is I either made my seam allowance too small or I didn't cut my strip exactly right. I could frog stitch this, take it all out, cut another strip, sew it back in. I'm not going to worry about it because in the long-term view of things, once this is finished and quilted and washed and being loved on, nobody is going to care that my points didn't meet up exactly right there. And I'll be back again on the next step. Here I am again. Guess what? I forgot I was recording this for you, and I just kept sewing and assembling that quilt. So there's the top. And I guess my next videos to help you are going to be showing you how I sandwich it. But that's oink, and it's probably going to get a dark binding on it. Yeah, there it is.